Let us discuss 14th July 2015 newspaper. The first article is related to the continuation of UFA declaration or joint statement between the Prime Ministers of Pakistan and India, where the Kashmir is not at the top list of the agenda. So now, as the Kashmir is kept out of the agenda, the opposition parties in the Pakistan started criticizing the Prime Minister. And there is a reaction from that from the National Security Advisor of the Pakistan that the Kashmir still stands out to be the top list in the agenda. And added to that, in regard to Lakhvi, they promise to expedite this particular investigation process and provide for the necessary support to India. But however, they took a U-turn once they are back into Pakistan. And one more the significant development which has occurred in India is all the Kashmiri separatists, they came together in a iftar party. So in this, the major issues that have come for discussion is the Kashmiri nationalism is bound to be revived. But however, the chances appear to be remote. The first reason is the mode of actions of these people and the leadership, tactics, and even the demand of Azadi has different meanings for the different people over here. But however, there are two prime reasons can be anticipated. As the democracy is taking the roots in Kashmir, which is visible in the previous elections, and PDP-BJP alliance came as it is in the power, it is taking the limelight than the separatist movement in the Kashmir. And they want to come into the mainstream life of the Karls. They want to resurface into the mainstream debate on the future of the Kashmir. Now, on the ideological front, Mr. Gilani, he wanted to align the Kashmir with the Pakistan. But however, the other leaders of JKLF and Hurriyat Conference, they demand for a self-determination of the Kashmir. And so it means that there are too many ideological differences. And one more thing is recent reconciliation and the start of the dialogue process between India and Pakistan did not give too much of priority to the Kashmir issue. So it means that in the process of negotiations, the Kashmir losing the limelight also might have made them to come together again to participate in the dialogue process related to the future of Kashmir. Now the second article is related to the so-called as India and United States of Nuclear Liability Act. So, author argues that the nuclear liability and defense cooperation with the United States of America is becoming more and more unilateral and one-sided, benefiting the American corporates rather than the Indian people. So, let us see through this mind map. What are the challenges to India-US nuclear deal? The first one is the delays and challenges. If you observe that in Finland, to create a nuclear reactor by the Areva, it took almost a decade. I mean, more than 13 years, more than a decade it took for establishing of a nuclear reactor. Because of this, ultimately it led to cost overruns, and the electricity produced also became highly costly. And the government has to subsidize that particular higher cost of production. So it means the first one is the delays with regard to the nuclear establishments, creation of nuclear establishments, which is already visible in the Kudankulam in India. And next is the technical and commercial viability. As for the economic viability, the cost of the unit of the electricity generated is going to increase because of the reasons, that is, delays is one thing, and the cost of production of the electricity through nuclear apparatus, because already the nuclear equipment or the reactors supplied, they are very high priced. And added to that, there are many liability issues which are being shifted to the operators. So the commercial viability of the nuclear reactors will be in question. And the technical viability, now if you see, many of the nuclear reactors which are being imported from different countries, they use different technologies. For example, light water reactor, which has been supplied by the Areva and General Electric Hitachi company. Similarly, heavy water reactor is being supplied by the Russia. So different countries are supplying the different nuclear reactors. Then it increases the risks and challenges related to the maintenance for the operator in India. The operator is Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. On the other hand, the liability issues still remain. So, the US opposes the Section 17B and 46 of liability law. You know, the right to recourse and all has to be avoided. The supplier shall not be made liable in case of an accident. That is the first demand with regard to the liability law from the United States companies. And the second thing is, the people that is victims of a nuclear accident in India shall not sue for the damages in America. So unless these two are being removed, the companies are not coming forward to invest in India or establish in India. And the next is, as the agreement has come up, it was talking about the full cooperation between India and America. The full cooperation means it also shall involve the technology transfer. The America has moved away from its commitments, especially with regard to the enrichment and reprocessing technologies that can make India self-sufficient. And India also has given special tracking and accounting mechanisms for the nuclear material that is imported from United States of America. So, a country-specific tracking mechanism was created. Because once it was created for the United States, the Australia also started demanding for it. So, it also wants to have a country-specific nuclear material tracking mechanism beyond the safeguards of the IAEA, where accounting and tracking is given as a responsibility of IAEA. So, India agreed to US, then Australia is also asking for it now. Now, in this, other thing is, there are four other groups which have technology control. These are nuclear suppliers group, missile technology control regime, Wassenaar agreement, Australia group. These are the four different groups. These are led by America, and these are the technology controlling cartels. They control the technology. India wants to enter into these cartels, but America did not provide for a full support for India, though India has synchronized its export regimes, import regimes, as per the standards dictated by these particular groups. So these are the issues which we need to go. So what is the so in the breakthrough understanding means when President Obama visited in January 2005. So in the discussions it was said that there was a breakthrough understanding between the Prime Minister and the President. But however, it was not made clear what is this breakthrough understanding is. So these are the challenges which have been for the implementation of India-US nuclear treaty. So these are the things. Now one major issue is America. It has got Price-Anderson Act of 1957. Under the Price-Anderson Act, the operators are responsible in America. But in India, American companies are demanding the exactly opposite. It is like one rule for America and one rule for the world, which always America practiced. The next one is, this is a good topic for e-governance. I specifically liked this conclusion. So, I try to use this conclusion if possible in my classes, and also you can note down this conclusion. Now, let's see this thing. So, the Akodhara, this particular village near Ahmedabad, it has become the fully digital village in the country. Now, in this, a private company, that is ICICI Bank, has took this particular digital village and after adoption by ICICI Bank, its major focus is on financial inclusion and access to modern banking, improving the school education system. And added to that, what are the advantages? What is the learning point over here is, the Akodhara, the model cannot be replicated in all the other countries because Akodhara is a privileged village. The reason being is, the digital connectivity has to be preceded by the physical and knowledge connectivity. Already Akodhara as a village, it has the physical connectivity because it is on the Gandhinagar Ahmedabad highway, and also it has better socio-economic indicators. So it means that already a developed village, a necessary e-literacy platforms, knowledge platforms were existing. Over that, the digital connectivity has been built. So one specific advantage of the digital connectivity and e-governance is this. So now the urban markets are exploited or became reached to their saturation. Now it is the time where the enterprise has to look for the rural markets. The nurturing and development of these neural markets and accessing them is coming at a very lesser cost because of this particular technology. So this is an update you can add up to your e-governance topic. And next is, this Film and Television Institute of India, and this drama continues, the strike drama. Let us see this. So what are the major issues? So the devil is also among the students. I'm not criticizing them again. So what is that is there is a strike culture. Every dean, that is chairman of FTII, he has underwent through a strike of the students. So the reason being is the students are over occupied in that particular institute, because a student who enters into the institute is staying there for an average of 5 to 6 years and who are not interested to move away from the institutes. It means the students who are occupying the hostels over there have the vested interests, and that is reaching to a huge indiscipline in the campus. And added to that, the questionable appointments, especially with Mr. Chauhan, lack of transparency, just based on loyalties, Mr. Chauhan was appointed to that particular FTII chairman position. And governing council also consists of RSS sympathizers, the saffronization of these institutions of highest learning. That is one question over here. And next is the curriculum is obsolete. It is unable to cope up with the changing technologies in the film and television industry. And added to that, over a time there is a over bureaucratization of the institution due to excessive involvement of the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. So these are the issues of the FTII. So in this, the Geeta Krishnan committee has recommended for privatization. No, privatization cannot be a solution for the institutions of such a nature. So privatization always controls the access of entry for the poor and marginalized. So privatization cannot be an ultimate solution. So better the systemic reforms are necessary for FTII now. Now with regard to space technology, certain improvements have occurred in India. So let us see what these improvements are. The first one is, with regard to space, the Gagan, GPS aided geo augmented navigation. That's what is the Gagan means. So this Gagan, it's been created in India. So what is the importance of Gagan is, it improves the seamless navigation in aviation industry. Now Indian subcontinent falls between already the Japanese satellite system and the European satellite system. The European satellite system, it is called European Geostationary Navigation Overlay Service, GSNS, that is European Geostationary Navigation Overlay Service, and Japan's Multifunctional Satellite Augmentation Service. So between this particular Gagan falls. That's why it provides for a seamless connectivity, and it is available to all the SAARC nations. So once the Gagan comes up, automatically the direct routes can be operated, and it decreases the fuel costs and also increases the efficiency of aviation industry. And in this October, a trial vehicle is being launched for testing the reusable launch vehicle. For a reusable launch vehicle, whenever that particular material comes into, or else whenever that body hits the atmosphere, huge heat will be generated. So how to protect this particular reusable launch vehicle from this heat is a major question. If you can remember Kalpana Chawla, she passed away when the space shuttle took the fire, when it is entering into the atmosphere, and a small minute fraction on that particular tile, heat resistant tile, has led to this. And on to this GSLV Mk3. So the indigenous cryogenic engine is still a challenge to India. India is also planning to complete IRNSS satellites. Indian regional navigation satellite system, it means it makes us dependent on the global positioning system of the United States. Our defense equipment can be launched on our own navigation system. And actually the Antrix Corporation, it is planning to launch at least 10 commercial satellites every year, which is going to provide for the revenue through this particular space technology. So this is what is this article is covered. So I'm not going beyond the scope of these articles. So thank you very much. All the best. Good night.